Welcome back to Badger Canyon Motorsports. I'm Ryan. Thanks for joining us in the shop today. We're working on the Motovox mini bike today. Grab a cup of coffee, soda, beer, whatever you prefer. Join us, shall you? Alright, before we jump into today's video, if you're new here and you feel I've earned it, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. Give us a like. If you have any questions or just want to drop a comment, go ahead and do that down below as well. And you can go ahead over to Instagram and Facebook and follow us at Badger Canyon Motorsports. Everything we're using in today's video is from Go Power Sports. Big old banner back there, which is awesome. All the links for the parts that we use are going to be in the description down below. You can see the Motovox is already torn apart. We did some work on that last night, so let's cut to that footage right now and bring you up to speed. So the first thing that we're going to be doing today is we're going to be widening our foot pegs. The stock foot peg is like 11 inches. With the 212 and the torque converter that's going in this thing, it widens it out enough that we need to surgically remove this thing, which we did last night, and weld our foot pegs back on it. So we're going to be doing that first thing this morning. Let's get right to it. got this big chunk of brass that we cast. And we're gonna clamp this guy right up underneath here, because I don't like the way these holes look. We're not gonna use them, so might as well fill them in just to make the overall bike look a little bit better. And brass, the weld will not stick to brass, so we'll be able to weld these in and only have to grind down one side of them smooth. So we got the foot pegs on, we got the slots welded up in the engine plate here. To cut the new ones, we'll have to put the engine on and make sure it gets aligned up with the rear sprocket, all that stuff. We've got another welding job that takes precedence a little bit because we have to have the rear tire for that on as well. And that's the hydraulic disc brake conversion kit from Motorsports. So let's... So what you've got is you've got the handle with the lever and the reservoir up top here. Oh, dang. Woohoo! So this is going to bolt on up here to the handlebar. The caliper is going to come through the frame all the way down here. We had to cut the stock mount off because it was backwards. The standard brake, the cable operated disc brake sat in front of the axle at the opposite angle that it should be. So we had to cut this off, and we're going to put it down here. We're going to bolt that to the caliper just so that we have it in place. Tack it on once we have the rear tire on and fit it over the disc brake. So let's do that right now. Then we'll go back up and we'll do the rest of the engine side and get that guy mounted up. So if you get you get a bike that doesn't have the hardware, these are metric 6 by 1.0 thread pitch by 12 millimeters long, I believe. So the threaded side is actually on the caliper, so we're going to take the mount. I'm going to take one of the socket head cap screws. And the biggest thing is you just want to make sure that these don't run into the rotor. That's really about it. And you see they stick through just a little bit here, but I believe it'll be fine. And if not, we know to throw another washer behind it, space it out a little bit more. That actually might be kind of close. So basically I'm gauging it. Here is the end of the housing. It sticks out just a little bit more than that, but then you got the pads right here. But that's going to be awfully close to the disc, so we can either grind them down or we can stack another washer behind it. we got the backing plate for the torque converter slotted out a little bit. Now, here's a disclaimer. I don't know if you paid attention to what I just did. I used a Craftsman wood router to slot these out. Wear safety goggles. What I did is stupid. And there's a saying, if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. It works, but it's still stupid. Little tiny aluminum shreds, little needles come off of it. So make sure you're wearing eye protection if you do that and have this properly clamped down. Safety aside, now we can mount this. And we have a little bit of room to adjust this angle. And here's what I mean by that. Here's where they would sit normally. And that allows us to bring that up a little bit more. And that's going to help us clear the frame on the Motovox. Alright, so we got the engine pulled back out. We've located where our slots are going to be. I've got a center punch at each end of each hole. So we're going to go ahead and drill those out. And then we're going to connect the dots with the jigsaw. So here's the Motovox MBX10. We've got the Predator 212. We got the 30 series torque converter. We got the hydraulic disc brake conversion kit, all from Go Power Sports. Everything's hooked up. I have cranked her up for about 5 seconds just to make sure she starts up and kills with the kill switch up here. It's getting a little bit late, so we're going to be done for this episode. Join us next time where we're going to take this thing on a rip. If you feel I've earned it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Follow us over on Instagram and Facebook at Badger Canyon Motorsports. Thank you for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, I appreciate it. Help bring them watch minutes up. We'll see you on the next one.